Hey y'all, it's y'all favorite cozy girl, Chi the Reality Queen, and I'm back again with another episode of Robe Chronicles. Tonight we're going to be talking about Real Housewives of Potomac, Season 8, Episode 7. Okay, so as you know, this episode starts off where the last one ended with Robin crying in the car with Robin, Wendy, and Mia. And she's like, I feel like you guys are trying to villainize my husband and me. Robin, your man is a villain. He is a villain. He's your villain. He is your villain. Like, no one's trying to villainize him. He has done that on his own. Nobody needs to do that for him. That's number one. Then she's like, Juan don't talk about nobody. And that's true. Juan does not talk about anybody. He don't care because he don't care about you. So there's that. And then Wendy had to correct her, like, wait a minute, Eddie don't talk about nobody either. And that's true. Happy Eddie be minding his own dang happy Eddie business. Like, he just be like, I'm here because my wife wants to be here. I don't care about none of this. Like, it's very obvious. And one thing I love about Eddie is he stands 10 toes behind his wife. Like, that, and I'm pretty sure that is why all the other housewives who are miserable don't like her, because it's not just about having a man, because Robin has one, right? It's about having one that stands 10 toes behind you. And that's what Eddie does. That's what Chris does, right? Like, even Candace may probably piss Chris off a lot, but he stands behind her. Ray, same way. Like, these are people who it really don't matter what you say, they're on their wife's side. They're not going back and forth with you. They're not arguing. They don't care. They standing with their wife. And I mean, I can see how that can be frustrating when you've never experienced that. So it's like, I get it. I'm not even trying to blame them for real, because like, if you don't know that, it could be frustrating to see somebody who maybe you believe you're better than having that. So there's that. Um, they arrive at chicken shit bingo. I still don't know why they're bleeping out shit, 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 shit. I'm sorry. That makes me so mad. They can curse. They say all these other words, but that's where they draw the line. That's still pissing me off. But anyways, they get there. Karen's being dramatic per usual. I mean, you're the grand dame. Drama is in your blood. She's like, I'm getting hives just being around the chicken. Ma'am, you don't like it because you think it's a dirty bird. You're not allergic to it. There's no problem with it. Like, let's not do this. Um, but anyways, this event, and I have seen the grumblings all through the Twitterverse, TikTok, wherever. It is low class. Like, y'all are in stilettos, mini skirts, tight dresses, whatever, and you're at chicken shit bingo. Ashley, you should never plan a trip again. Ever again. Producers, y'all may not watch this, but if one of you happens to come across this video, do not let that girl plan another trip. Why are they at chicken shit? Like, even if, for me, I feel like, okay, dress the part. That's the problem I have with them, right? Like, they want to act high class and they want to be like, oh, we're so high class, we're this, we're that, we're the girlies, whatever. But you wearing stilettos at chicken shit bingo. Why? Why are you doing that? Y'all, like, I feel like they have to overcompensate, because y'all should have been in jeans and sneakers and Timberland boots or something, work boots, something, because chicken shit bingo was not meant for stilettos. Um, but anyways, when Robin comes in, she's still like crying, and here comes Jizzy and Mia, who was also already in the car, but now she's trying to like make it this extra scene. And this is why I believe that Giselle is bad for the show, because in the car, Mia was kind of like, okay, Robin, you know, it's okay, which everybody was doing, including Wendy, including Candace. But now that Giselle is here, it's like, did Candace even apologize for doing all this? And da da da. Like, why are you trying to do that? Now you're trying to be messy when you were there. Why didn't you in the car say, Candace, maybe you should apologize if you feel so bad? Like, I don't, you was sitting there in the car and you had the perfect opportunity to be like, well, Candace, you see, you hurt Robin's feelings. You see, she has very strong emotions about this. Apologize. That a real one would have said it right then and there. Girl, apologize. If that's your friend, if you want to be her friend so bad, apologize right now. You see it hurt her, you see she's disappointed, apologize to her. But Mia, I feel like gets emboldened when Giselle is around. I don't know why she has that effect. It's like she's a witch. Like they talk about Wendy's mom being a witch. It's like she a little witch that puts her spell on people to be more mean, more nasty. It's not really good. I think that, and it's specifically towards Candace. I don't think that is a colorism thing. I really think she just obviously don't like Candace, but it's just really nasty. And I don't care for it. Um, then Candace starts crying. And honestly, Candace, girl, no. You're my girl, but no. Don't. Why are you crying? Why are you crying? At least that's what I was thinking. I'm like, what is it? But you know what? I give her this. We are 7 episodes. No, we're, yeah, 7 episodes in, and this is the first time I've seen her cry. You're doing amazing, sweetie. And last season, I think maybe just once or twice, she actually did really good. I'm not gonna lie, because prior to that, that cry angle, she was, it was too much. It was too much. And she got it under control for a little bit, but now she's crying. And I get it a little bit because it's like, that's your friend, but like, you're doing a lot, sweetie. Anyways, Robin gets up in a huff and she wants to go outside because, she can't stop crying. Her tears are a lot. And I guess she feels guilty a little bit, obviously, because them tears are a little bit guilty tears, right? Because I think she's really thinking about what they said, whether true or not. And she's probably second guessing. Like, I'm standing on it, but like in her mind, second guessing, like, wait, was I the reason he got fired? Like, what, was I talking too much? Like, you know, and maybe we know how Juan is. Maybe he even said it to her, right? So now they're bringing up stuff that's triggering more so, right? I mean, we don't know anything exactly, but it's weird. So Robin goes outside. Mia follows her. She's like, I want to be alone. And she's just crying and sulking. And I'm like, the drama, the theater, girl, you're doing what you need to do. Like, she is trying to secure her seat for next season. Like, away. I'm crying. It's so sad. But I love it. I love to see Robin vulnerable. I mean, her tagline is I 100% don't care. Like, girl, we had said 7 episodes in and you boo-hoo crying. You do care. You do care. You like 50% don't care. And 50% do care. And that's okay. That's normal. That's human. And we love it. That is why we watch the show, right? We want to see the range of the emotions. We want to see it all. And I feel like she's spent so much time trying to just be the, I'm so cool and collected. My home life is, you know, okay. And it's like we're all watching it not be okay, right? We had a whole season where you were like depressed and your friend told you it wasn't cute for your man, instead of being like, oh, hey, babe, maybe you need to get serious help, right? And so I think that this Robin crying is good. It's good. Then you know, Giselle goes to check on Robin as well. I'm like, it's weird she didn't get up immediately, but she goes to check in on her friend and she wearing these heels that she can't walk in. I'm like, maybe you should have worn sneakers to chicken shit bingo. Like, again, the girlies are doing too much. I'm not saying you can't wear heels. I mean, I was gonna say they always look fab, but she never does. Um, but yeah, you can wear heels, but obviously this wasn't the event. And maybe Ashley didn't even know what it was because I'm like, you couldn't give any of them a warning as to what they were about to walk into. I don't know. Anyway, she goes to check on her friend. She's with Mia talking about it. And Candace is on the inside just crying and crying. She's like, it's really hard for her to see Robin be such good friends with Giselle after what Giselle did to her. And I get that. I feel like a lot of people don't buy that argument or like that argument, but I like it because I get it. If my friend is friends with my enemy, are you really my friend? Because how can you console me and still key with someone who like wanted my life to be miserable? It's hard, right? Like I have a double mind about it. Like at the same time, I'm like, okay, these are individuals that you have to treat as individuals and kind of, you know, each relationship stands on its own. But at the same time, it's like, oh, I get it, Candace. I get it a little bit. Like, um, I don't know. I have double mind. Like at the same time, I'm like, girl, get over it. If you want to be friends with Giselle, you don't have to do with Giselle. Just be friends with Robin. But at the same time, it's like, well, girl, this person like actually tried to hurt me. How can you be friends with them? What do you guys think? Like, where do you stand on that? I don't know if I could be friends with someone who hates, who's friends with somebody who hates me. Like, I kind of get it. And so Wendy is trying to console her. Wendy is trying to say, hey, you know what? I know the relationship you have with Robin. Wendy doesn't like Robin. I mean, they're not super cool, but she's like, I know the relationship you have with her, and it's very important to you, and you should try to resolve that. And here comes NECA talking about, oh, she's trying to manipulate her into doing what's right. Like, girl, if you can't add good commentary, go home. Like, you're here, you're sitting there, and you're adding bad commentary. Like, that is so telling of your purpose that you can't even acknowledge or just ignore the fact that Wendy is giving her friend good advice. Like you could literally just not comment on that. Or you could say, Wendy is doing what she thinks is right for Candace or saying what she thinks. Like the way she put it was so negative when Wendy was actually being such a positive influence in that moment. I was actually disappointed in NECA. And it's like it shows her true character, the reason why she's there. And again, it's just to fight with Wendy. And that's kind of lame to me. Um, yeah, I don't really care for her. I want her to be better. I really think Nina NECA has the opportunity to be a better housewife, but she's going to actually have to be her own. Like she has to have her own storyline. She has to have her own way she wants to deal and move because as it is right now, it's giving flop. Wendy was right. Maybe dramatic, maybe overdone, but it's giving flop. um Anyways, Candace talks about that she's emotional about Robin being emotional, like seeing Robin cry, seeing Robin hurt. And I'm like, I get it. I mean, if you're that type of person, I'm not that type of person, right? But if you're that type of person that gets emotional at other people being emotional, which Candace seems like, and especially with how much she cares for Robin, and you can see it's killing her. I'm not saying she should have been as rude or as mean to Robin on social media in interviews and all that stuff. But when you feel hurt, sometimes you lash out. But what Candace needs to do is she needs to humble herself a little bit and apologize. Like, hey, you know what? I effed up. I was just so angry. I was viewing this from this perspective, and I'm sorry. But Robin has to not only accept, but also apologize for the part that she played. And the part that she played is kikiing on her show with Giselle about Chris being who he was. Like you could have just completely stayed out of it and you chose not to, right? But that has to be a mutual apology, which I don't know if we're gonna get. um Anyways, Giselle, Mia, and Robin are leaving the event. I honestly think they just didn't want to be at the event and they used Robin's tears to just get out of it. I mean, they were way overdressed. They look silly. Um, but again, we must note that the moment Giselle left, the rest of the group, including Nneka and Wendy, were able to have a decent time. I think we have to, like, we cannot keep ignoring the fact that as long as Giselle is not there, that group is able to come together on some level to have a decent time, to be able to be a group. Like I said, Nneka and Wendy have beef, but they were able to sit and do that whole event and have a decent time. The problem that we have in this group, I'm not saying that they don't have drama, I'm not saying other people don't like each other, but Giselle is a force that brings so much negativity to that situation. On her own, Giselle might be cool. As a mother, Giselle might be cool. With certain housewives, Giselle might be cool. But when you bring those women together, for some reason, she is just a force of negativity. Um, and it's funny because the girls are actually getting into this chicken shit bingo. Like, it's crazy. And here comes Karen talking about when I was on a farm, this and this. So, Miss Mamas, you're not allergic to chicken. Okay. You're not allergic. You just want to be dramatic. And we love you for it. But come on, you're not allergic. Um, but what killed me is Ashley looking at the bar and saying, "Oh, that man looks like a black Chris Bassett." Not producers panning over to the man, and he dead ass looked like a black Chris Bassett. I believe we all have our own doppelganger, and the person may not be of our same race. And it's kind of like when people say that Future looks like Meryl Streep. Like, it's one of those things that, like, I truly, truly believe in that. We all have our own doppelganger. I would love to find mine, even if the person isn't black or whatever. I always just think it's so funny because he dead ass look like him. Um, yeah, but when they're driving home, I guess Robin is talking about how Candace was cyberbullying her. And I'm like, okay, let's not be dramatic. Cyberbullying is not calling you a fraud on a show. Like, and the fact that the producers even spliced that in there, and that's how you know that they're sometimes trying to build a narrative because they'll use clips that don't actually relate or actually don't mean what the person's saying. And it's just like, no, that's not that. Whatever you thought that was, that's not that, you know? Um, and Giselle is like, well, I'm ready for her. I'm ready for her. Girl, you be on mute anytime Candace starts to read you. Like, you look foolish anytime. I really wish that Giselle would read her back, but she's not quick. Like, she's not quick like that. Like, if you give her a lot of time to think, I mean, the truth is, Giselle is an older woman who shades like an older woman, right? Like, she is like, I don't have to shade you. I could just speak bad about you 2 weeks later after I've sat and thought about it. And then, she's not quick. She just not quick. And so that's why when Candace starts reading her head to toe, she's just like, and has nothing to say. So don't say you're ready for Candace because you're not ready for Candace. The only thing you're ready to do is spread more lies. And that's okay. That's your role. That's what the producers like you for. They keep bringing you back, they let you do it. So that's fine. But you're not ready to go toe to toe with Candy. You're not ready for that. Um, so the next day is Karen's birthday. Yay, Taurus Queen. Um, and Candace calls her man. She tells him what's going on and what happened. Um, Giselle comes to Karen's room to bring her gifts. And I'm like, it's funny because we have experienced two birthdays. Giselle and Karen are like frenemies, and that's okay. But even the Salt Lake City girls, and that's what I mean by like the other franchises like coming together, is like those girls, maybe they don't like Monica, Monica's new, whatever, but they still, one of them, Heather, thought about her enough to set up the breakfast, birthday, whatever. And Whitney brought her a real gift that you could tell she bought prior to getting to Bermuda, you know? And Giselle shows up to Karen's room with like snacks and a bottle of champagne, mini bottle of champagne. Like, girl, just don't do it. Like, you came in there with that false pretense of giving her a birthday gift only to basically tell her that you can't move forward with Candace because of the death threats you were getting. Candace is not the reason you're getting death threats. You're getting death threats because people on the internet are insane. Okay. That's that's the problem. The problem is not Candace. The problem is there's people on the internet that have lost their everlasting minds and they think that that is an appropriate way to react to strangers that they've never met and they don't know. Having an opinion, cool. Saying your opinion, cool too. Getting into Twitter beefs and arguments, fine. Making death threats against people on television that you don't know, making death threats against people that you do know. It's actually a level of insanity. Okay. So I'm not saying I, think it's right. What I'm saying is, I don't know if it's because of Candace. I actually think that people are insane. And whether Candace did what she did or she didn't, there's someone who's going to do that because for some reason, people think being a troll is like cool and fun, right? Like, I feel sorry for all of these women on reality TV because there are people who are just genuinely negative, bad, mean-spirited people, right? And it sucks. It really, really does. I know for a fact though, the internet loves your kids, loves Giselle's kids, right? So I hope and pray and fingers crossed no one is making death threats against them. I actually hope, well, I know people are making death threats against Giselle because people are just so nasty. But it's like, if that's you, get a grip. Like, what? Like, how do you wake up in the morning, log into your Twitter, and it's like, I'm gonna go make death threats against this random person that I don't know, that a producer edits how I view them. Like I said, an opinion is fine. I have opinions. I'm giving y'all my opinion. I'm not saying that's wrong because I don't have real malice. Like, how it's viewed, this is how I'm viewing things based on how it's viewed. You guys have heard me say multiple times based on how the producers are editing and filming. So I know that to be true. So I'm making my opinions based on that. But to really wish the worst on people, like, it's lame, it's whack, it's a non-starter. And Karen immediately folds and is like, oh, yeah, I'm so sorry. But I think what Karen should have said is, that is not the fault of Candace. That is the fault of crazy people. And to blame Candace is irresponsible, right? Because now what's going to happen is there's strangers out there who are crazy, who are going to turn around and make death threats to Candace because you said someone's making death threats to you because of her, right? Because that's how these cyclical type of weird people are. So I just think it was really inappropriate on her part to blame someone like that for her death threats because that then, like I said, it's cyclical. Someone's going to go and do it back. So I just think it's not a good thing, right? So that day, everybody's getting ready, calling their man, their husbands, whatever. NECA calls Lebe. Like, if that's not clout chasing, baby, I don't know what it is. I'm not saying you can't have friends because obviously everybody has friends, but I think that's the first time I've seen them call a friend instead of a spouse or a kid. NECA don't have no kids, but she could call her spouse, or maybe they just told her to call someone so they can record. Because where's Ike? Who knows? Because I don't know. Um, Mia calls G, and he's trying to talk to her about the lawsuit that he wants to file against his sibling for his 500,000. And Mia's like, I just don't want you to do it. And honestly, it's kind of weird. Why not? Like, girl, you don't like him when he's broke and he's trying to get a little bit of coin back. I'm suing somebody for 500,000. 500,000. Um, I would hope I would never get to that place with my family, right? My blood. But if that was the case, baby, we got to go to court. because 500,000 is too much for me to sniff at. It's too much, especially when you're going broke. I need my money immediately. Okay, immediately, not yesterday, today. I needed it today. Today. Yesterday, today, tomorrow, whenever you can pay it. Like, I just don't understand how she's not thinking this is a much bigger deal than what it is. Like, Mia's on some weird stuff, which kind of makes me a little suspect as to the reasoning why, and if maybe G doesn't know something that she's done to kind of, cause some trouble. So the girlies are going kayaking. Robin makes Nneka switch seats with her in the car because she doesn't want to sit next to Candace. And it's like, that's childish. But shit, sometimes you need time to like just take a breather from people, right? So I'm not faulting Robin. I get it. They switch seats. They get to kayaking and, everybody's going to go. And basically, Karen doesn't want to go. She's against it for whatever reason. But I think more of us need to take, notes from Karen. If you don't want to do something, you don't have to ruin anybody else's fun. You just don't go. But you still have fun and bring joy to the entire event. You know what I mean? Like, this is Karen's birthday and she's still being such a good sport. I know some girlies who would have a fit if they were doing something they did not want to do on their birthday. But you know what? She's like, girl, I'm getting a check because this is a show and we're filming. So that's okay. I'm going to sit here. I'm going to have a good time. And y'all get up on the boat and kayak. Like, whatever. I don't care. And it's kind of funny because, she doesn't get on and then Candace doesn't get on. And I was like, wait, I was so sure that Candace was going to, kayak. But it turns out she just wants to talk to Karen privately, and then Robin is on the kayak with Giselle, and she's talking about like, oh, I know I'm gonna have to call Juan and tell him about this conversation and everything. And I'm like, that's not gonna go good. And even Giselle was like, oh, okay. Because everybody knows it's not gonna go good. Like, there's no way. Um, and she just but Candace just wants to talk to Karen and thank her for being there for her um during that whole thing. And I mean, I get it. I think, if we remember from the beginning, Candace always looked at Karen as like a mother figure. And then they kind of lost that when Karen straddled the friends a little bit on the Monique and Candace situation. But, I'm glad to see that they're back to a place where they're cool and they're close. And it's funny because that's the crazy thing. Like, Candace built real relationships with the people that she wanted to build relationships with. And you could see it. It doesn't come off as fraudulent or fake. Like, you're like, oh, she really likes Karen. Oh, she really likes Robin. So that's why this beef is actually pretty deep. Like, I know a lot of people are trying to trivialize it, but I'm like, it's kind of deep because her and Robin were like thick as thieves, low key. Um, but yeah, anyways, again, Robin and Giselle are away kayaking, and the rest of the girlies are having a blast. Robin eventually gets in and starts kayaking. I'm telling you, I'm going to stand 10 toes on it. Giselle is the bad vibes in the group. Get rid of her, you have a solid group. I mean, at least give NECA one more season if you get rid of Giselle to see how the interplay goes. But it's like, they can have a good time without her. Even people who are beefing can get along temporarily, right? So it gives the original vibes of Housewives that we like, where it's not like no one's being iced out, no one's being like unnecessarily mean. So I think we just need to kind of get back to that. Um, the girlies are drinking wine on the water. They're having a good time. It's hot red wine. Ugh. Red wine is already ugh to me, but hot red wine is really ugh to me. And Candace pointed out, like, we need to be drinking a white. I mean, I'm not a wine girl like that, so I don't know if they should be drinking red or white, but I do know that hot red wine is nasty. That's just it. I'm gonna just throw that out there. But yeah, so then they finish kayaking. They're going home. Karen tells everybody that she bought her grandmother's house in Surrey County. I think it's really nice because I feel like, They did that little special on Karen, and I think a lot of people thought she was like faking and she was just doing stuff for the cameras. But it seems like she's still in Surrey's business. She's still doing what Surrey got to do. She's dealing with them. She's going there. She's buying land and property there. She's, working things out with her sister to keep everything. So it's like, okay. So it wasn't just a storyline for the camera. This is really what she had planned and what she was doing, which I think is super cool. Um, and then they get back to the hotel, and Robin finally calls Juan. And when she calls Juan, she's like, oh, she says in her little interview, like, oh, me and Rob are good financially, blah, me and Juan are good financially, and blah, 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 all this stuff. But when she's talking to Juan, she's talking about not having insurance. And let me tell you, that is a sad state of affairs. Not Robin and Juan, but that the housewives, is they not giving insurance? What? Like, wait a minute. What is going on? Was his insurance the one that they had, or what's really happening here? Um, I don't think this is not a Robin and Juan issue. This is a America has a problem issue. America has a problem because if he's still getting paid, compensated, is insurance not part of that compensation or something? Like, why are we separating these things? Give that man his insurance, whatever the hell he needs to do. I don't care if it's a checkup. He needs insurance, and we need to get it together as a country on that topic. Okay. Uh, but then she starts telling him about the lawsuit and what the girls were saying. And in true Juan fashion, he starts yelling at her and getting angry with her and just going off on her. And it's insane to me that this man has such little sympathy for his wife at any given time. She's crying, she's hurt. You could tell this is hard on her, and he is just yelling and he don't care. Not so, and he doesn't care so much that he hangs up on her. Not even like, okay, Rob, what's going on? You good? This. But the problem I have is this is always their interaction. Like, a lot of the time, it's him going off on her, him being rude, him being condescending, him being dismissive. And it's like, oh my God, girl, you deserve better. I promise you, you deserve better. I'm here to tell you, you deserve better. A lot of people probably agree too. But that's how this episode ends, and I just really don't know what Robin, like, if Robin is happy with Juan, so be it. I'm happy for her. But when you're talking about you've been depressed and you've had these issues and you have that, and you don't have a partner who's supporting you like 150%, it's just like hard to watch as a viewer, right? And maybe he is, maybe this is the editing. But if editing is always getting my man yelling at me, I'm gonna be like, y'all, stop doing that, because he don't be yelling at me like that. But I'm starting to think that it's not just editing. Anyways, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Please like, comment, subscribe. We're going on a break, so you guys will see me back here after the holidays. I hope you guys have a happy, happy holiday season and a happy, happy new year. Have a good night. Bye.